If I had to name the people who have endured the most injustice and oppression in this world, I would probably point to the kind, respectable, and gentle black community.
Black people need some peace. White people need some peace.
Black artists today are no exception. One of them was shot dead in the middle of a crowded street over a conflict that seemed trivial. Another collapsed in their own home, a place that should have been a sanctuary, but instead became the scene of a tragic end. And these are just two of the 25 heartbreaking and sorrowful stories about black celebrities who lost their lives to violence. Brace yourself and maybe grab some tissues, because the stories I'm about to tell will leave you in tears. 1. Fred Hampton, the beacon of justice, silenced in a tragic bloodbath. Fred Hampton, the extraordinary leader of the Black Panther Party, was only 21 years old when he became a powerful voice for the civil rights movement in America. In 1969, he stood out for his leadership skills and his ability to unite various groups fighting for equality. But his bright light would soon be extinguished in an unforgettable tragedy. On December 4, 1969, a cold morning turned into a nightmare in American history. At 4 a.m., while Fred Hampton and his partner, Deborah Johnson, were asleep in their small Chicago apartment, FBI agents and local police stormed in. Armed with a meticulously planned operation to quell the revolutionary flame Fred had ignited, they unleashed a barrage of gunfire. Bullets tore through the air, and Fred was shot repeatedly while still in a drugged slumber. He had no chance to fight back. Deborah, pregnant with their first child, could do nothing but clutch her partner's lifeless body amidst the chaos and gunfire. This wasn't a raid. It was an execution. A chilling message from the system. Those who dared to demand equality would be obliterated. Fred Hampton's life was cut short at such a young age, leaving behind an unborn child and a generation grieving his loss. But his death was not forgotten. It became a symbol of resilience and the undying desire for a fairer world. Fred Hampton was not just a leader. He was the dream of an entire generation, snuffed out by injustice, yet burning eternally in the history of the fight for freedom. 2. Antonio Armstrong, the model father, betrayed in a shocking tragedy. Antonio Armstrong, a former football star from Texas A&M, was a community hero known for his promising career and as the epitome of a devoted husband and father. But the glow of his life dimmed in an unimaginable tragedy one fateful night in 1999. On July 29, 1999, the Armstrong family's Houston home was quiet in the night, unaware of the nightmare looming ahead. Antonio and his beloved wife Dawn were asleep when gunshots shattered the silence. In mere moments, the couple fell victim to a cold-blooded attack in the very place they called their safe haven. The most shocking twist came later. The shooter was their own son, A.J. Armstrong. A family once filled with love became the scene of the most painful betrayal. Efforts to rationalize A.J.'s actions with explanations like psychological pressure or family conflict fell short of easing the pain. Antonio, who had fought so hard on the football field and through life's challenges, ultimately fell at the hands of his own blood. Dawn, a devoted mother and loving wife, could not escape the same fate. Their deaths devastated not just their family, but an entire community that had admired and cherished them. Antonio Armstrong's tragedy is more than a story of loss. It is a grim reminder of the unseen darkness that sometimes lurks within our own families. He left behind both a legacy and a heartbreaking lesson. The greatest betrayals often come from where we least expect them. 3. Wilmer Broadax, the gospel star's light. Extinguished in a jealous rage, Wilmer Broadax, known by his stage name Little Axe, was one of gospel music's brightest stars. His powerful voice brought hope and healing to thousands. But behind the spotlight lay a personal tragedy no one could have predicted. On June 1, 1992, in a small Houston apartment, the air was thick with tension. Wilmer and his partner, Lavell Richardson, were caught in a relentless argument. Lavina's accusations of jealousy spiraled out of control. What began as words quickly escalated into fury, and in an instant, Lavina grabbed a knife. The attack happened too fast to stop. A fatal stab wound ended Wilmer's life in the very place he had once called home. The man who had graced the grandest stages and delivered messages of love through his music now lay still in a tragic and unexpected ending. Wilmer, who had sung of peace and faith, could not find those very things in his final moments. Though his light has dimmed, his voice lives on, echoing through time as a plea for empathy, forgiveness, and genuine love, the kind that can mend even the most broken hearts. 4. Chauncey Bailey. A journalist falls in an unrelenting battle for truth. Chauncey Bailey, a renowned investigative journalist for the Oakland Tribune, was a symbol of courage and dedication to exposing society's darkest corners. He had uncovered major scandals that shook the powerful in Oakland, California. But the light he shone on the truth became the spark of his own tragic end. On the morning of August 2, 2007, Chauncey was walking down a busy street, unaware that every step was being watched. At the time, he was investigating Your Black Muslim Bakery, an organization operating under the guise of charity but housing criminal activities. Chauncey's discoveries threatened to expose everything, instilling fear in the group's leaders. At 7:30 a.m., a vehicle appeared suddenly. A shadowy figure emerged, gun in hand. Chauncey was shot twice, once in the chest, once in the head. The fearless journalist collapsed in a busy street, his untold stories silenced. The gunman, Devondre Broussard, acted on orders from Yusuf Bey IV, the head of the organization Chauncey was investigating. Yusuf believed killing Chauncey would muzzle the voice of justice. He was wrong. Chauncey's death ignited public outrage, bringing the organization's misdeeds to light. Tragically, the price Chauncey paid for the truth was far too high. His loss left an irreplaceable void in his family and the journalism community. But his unwavering spirit endures, a reminder that the light of truth is always stronger than the shadows that try to snuff it out. 5. Stephanie Mosley, a talented artist and a heartbreaking love tragedy. Stephanie Mosley, an exceptional choreographer and standout actress, captivated audiences with her mesmerizing dance moves and stellar performances in renowned television shows. She was a symbol of talent and dedication, but her brilliant life was tragically cut short, leaving behind endless sorrow. On the morning of December 8, 2014, Los Angeles sparkled as usual. But within Stephanie's apartment, everything collapsed in an uncontrollable rage. She and her estranged husband, rapper Earl Hayes, once shared a beautiful love story. However, the later years of their relationship were marked by jealousy and discord. Hayes, consumed by an unhealthy obsession, couldn't accept Stephanie's independence or their separation. Heated arguments escalated until the sound of gunfire shattered all hope. In a fit of blind fury, Hayes murdered Stephanie before turning the gun on himself, ending it all in a whirlwind of violence and despair. Stephanie's death is a heartbreaking testament to the devastating effects of domestic violence and unchecked jealousy. She was not only a victim of a broken relationship, but also a symbol for women enduring silent suffering. Stephanie deserved to live, to continue shining and contributing, but instead, her life ended in the most harrowing tragedy. Her dreamy dance moves are now only memories, yet her name lives on in the hearts of art lovers and those courageously fighting for justice. 6. Malcolm X, gunfire, ends an ambitious revolution. Malcolm X, a symbol of the American civil rights movement, fearlessly spoke out against injustice and racial discrimination. Rising from a troubled past, he became one of the most powerful orators and leaders of the 20th century, championing freedom, equality, and human dignity. But on February 21, 1965, during a speech at the Audubon Ballroom in Harlem, that light was extinguished by betrayal and hatred. The packed room fell silent as Malcolm began his passionate address. Hidden among the crowd, however, were assassins prepared to carry out their deadly plan. Just as Malcolm began to speak, gunshots rang out like thunder. A barrage of bullets struck him, causing him to collapse on the stage, plunging the hall into shock. Bystanders rushed to help, but their efforts were futile. Malcolm was gone, leaving an irreplaceable void. It is said that the assassins were members of the Nation of Islam, the organization Malcolm once belonged to before publicly criticizing its corruption and internal conflicts. Betrayal by former allies and deep-seated hatred claimed his life. Malcolm X died at 39, leaving his ideals unfulfilled. Yet his death sparked a wave of anger and profound mourning among millions. He remains a symbol of the fight for human rights, and his death is a stark reminder that the truth often comes at the highest price for the bravest among us. 7. Martin Luther King Jr. A tragic gunshot ends a civil rights legend. Martin Luther King Jr., leader of the American Civil Rights Movement, is renowned for his "I Have a Dream" speech, which inspired millions to stand against injustice and racial discrimination. He led nonviolent protests and won the Nobel Peace Prize in 1964. On April 4, 1968, at the Lorraine Motel in Memphis, Tennessee, Martin stood on the balcony preparing for his next speech. In a blink, a fatal bullet ended his life. From a concealed position, the assassin fired, silencing the most powerful voice of the civil rights movement. Martin fell to the ground as those around him watched in horror. He was rushed to the hospital in critical condition, but all efforts to save him failed. At 7:05 p.m., Martin took his last breath, leaving the world in tears. James Earl Ray was identified as the assassin, a man filled with hatred and fear of the changes Martin was bringing. His death underscores the brutal reality of the fight for justice, where the bravest face the gravest dangers. Though Martin is gone, his ideals endure. He left behind a legacy of a dream for peace and a poignant reminder that the fight against injustice is far from over. His dream became a symbol, guiding millions toward a fairer, kinder world. 8. Tupac Shakur, a hip-hop legend, falls in a shroud of mystery. Tupac Shakur, one of hip-hop's most iconic figures, was celebrated for his extraordinary musical talent and his bold voice against social injustice. Despite his short career, Tupac left a monumental legacy with millions of records sold and songs that touched hearts worldwide. On the night of September 7, 1996, Las Vegas, glowing with lights, witnessed a tragedy that shook the world. Tupac, after leaving a Mike Tyson boxing match, was in a black BMW with his friend Suge Knight. All seemed normal until a white Cadillac approached. Suddenly, gunfire erupted, shattering the night. Bullets struck Tupac in the chest and lungs, leaving him motionless. The once resilient man now lay helpless. Rushed to the hospital in critical condition, Tupac succumbed to his injuries 6 days later on September 13, 1996, at the age of 25, leaving an irreplaceable void. Tupac's death ignited numerous theories. Some believe it was a result of gang wars within the music industry, while others speculate on complex motives behind the act. Regardless of the truth, his death serves as a grim reminder of the price paid for standing against injustice. Though Tupac is gone, his music and ideals endure, with his powerful messages of hope, justice, and struggle lighting the path for future generations. 9. The Notorious B.I.G., a tragedy that stopped a hip-hop generation. The Notorious B.I.G., born Christopher Wallace, was an irreplaceable icon in hip-hop history. With a distinctive voice and storytelling ability, he quickly rose to prominence as the voice of the East Coast. His debut album, Ready to Die, 1994, catapulted him to stardom, making Biggie a powerful voice for his generation. Everything seemed fine until the night of March 9, 1997. In the bustling streets of Los Angeles, Biggie left a fan-packed party. Seated in a luxurious black SUV, he chatted with friends, unaware of the fate awaiting him. A black Chevrolet Impala appeared. The window rolled down, and in an instant, gunfire erupted. Bullets pierced the glass, striking Biggie. He collapsed, his eyes wide with disbelief at the brutal reality. Rushed to the hospital, Biggie took his last breath hours later at 24. Biggie's death marked not just the loss of a musical genius, but the tragedy of the East Coast-West Coast rivalry in hip-hop. Questions remain. Was it revenge or the result of darker industry conflicts? The tension between Biggie and Tupac, who was killed 6 months earlier, deepened the mystery. Yet, despite the reasons, the world lost a legend. The Notorious B.I.G. was more than an artist. He was a symbol of strength and unyielding creativity. His music, rich with emotion and storytelling, continues to resonate with millions. 10. Nipsey Hussle, a legend fallen to utter jealousy. Nipsey Hussle, an outstanding rapper and social activist, was more than just a talented artist. He was a symbol of dedication to his community. With his Grammy-nominated album Victory Lap 2018, Nipsey inspired through music and action, particularly for the youth of South Los Angeles, where he grew up. On March 31, 2019, Nipsey stood outside the Marathon clothing store, his dream symbol of community building. While chatting with some young men about their future, a familiar figure, Eric Holder, appeared. Holder, once Nipsey's old friend, had become a foe, consumed by jealousy and resentment. Holder approached Nipsey with a cold, angry glare. In an instant, he drew a gun and fired. 3 bullets struck Nipsey, shocking the entire neighborhood. Fans and friends rushed to his aid, trying desperately to stop the bleeding and get him to the hospital. But it was all in vain. Nipsey took his last breath early the next morning, leaving behind a devastating loss for his family, friends, and millions of admirers worldwide. Nipsey Hussle's death was a monumental blow to the community he spent his life uplifting. Eric Holder was later arrested and convicted, but Nipsey's passing left an irreplaceable void. He was a beacon of light in the darkness of society, extinguished by envy. Yet, his legacy lives on. From inspirational songs to community projects, Nipsey proved that one person can change the world. 11. Chinx, a promising talent ended by hidden conflicts. Chinx, a rising star in the hip-hop world, quickly captured the music scene with emotional hits and powerful life stories. He was more than an artist. He was a symbol of resilience and triumph over life's struggles. On the night of May 17, 2015, as Chinx drove his car through Jamaica, Queens, New York, he couldn't have known his life would end in an instant. Another vehicle sped toward him, and gunfire erupted, shattering the night. Chinx was struck multiple times in the chest and abdomen but fought to survive. Tragically, though he could fight in music, he couldn't win this battle. Just hours later, Chinx passed away, leaving an enormous void in the music industry and his fans' hearts. Chinx's death wasn't a random accident. It was the result of long-standing covert rivalries in a competitive industry where money, fame, and power collide. His complex relationships with gangs and underlying conflicts in the hip-hop world may have led to his untimely demise. Despite striving for a better life, the shadows of his past proved inescapable. His death is not only the loss of a talent, but also a stark reminder of the dark sides of society that not everyone can escape. 12. DJ Uncle Al, Miami bass legend lost to covert violence. DJ Uncle Al, a living legend in the Miami bass community, electrified Miami with vibrant beats and energetic performances. He wasn't just a talented DJ, but also a symbol of unity through music, bringing thousands together with every rhythm. On the night of May 7, 2001, after a spectacular performance at a major music event, DJ Uncle Al left the stage elated from delivering an unforgettable night. But as he drove home, tragedy awaited in the shadows. Another car followed him, and the cold sound of gunfire shattered the peace. The ruthless bullets took his life, ending the joy he had shared just hours before. DJ Uncle Al's death was part of an ongoing underground gang war. Though not an aggressor, he was caught up in dangerous associations within a criminal world where power and revenge blurred the lines of friendship. He sought to bring hope and joy to impoverished neighborhoods, but the darkness of society consumed him. His passing was a devastating loss, not just for music, but for the entire Miami bass community. 13. Young Greatness, a budding talent. Taken in a tragic night. Young Greatness, born Theodore Jones, was a promising rapper who quickly rose in the hip-hop scene with sharp, powerful tracks. Dubbed a game changer for the music industry, his brilliant career was tragically cut short. On October 29, 2018, after a long day of work in New Orleans, young greatness relaxed in his car at a Waffle House. Suddenly, an unfamiliar vehicle approached. Gunshots rang out, ending his life in an instant. Behind the assassination were unresolved conflicts in hip-hop and gang rivalries. Despite his efforts to rise above, young greatness couldn't escape the traps of violence, anger, and revenge in the music industry. His death is a profound tragedy, not only for hip-hop, but also for those who believed in dreams yet to be realized. 14. Big L, a hip-hop legend and a bloody night. Big L, a talented rapper from Harlem, won over the hip-hop community with sharp lyrics and songs that powerfully reflected street life's raw reality. He became a household name and a symbol for a new generation in music. But on Friday evening, February 15, 1999, while Big L was chatting with friends after a recording session, death came without warning. A car drove by, and sudden gunfire ended his life on a familiar street. Though rushed to the hospital, it was too late. Big L's death wasn't just the loss of a talent, but a grim reminder of hip-hop's harsh realities. Though he never lived to see the success his career promised, his musical legacy endures, tinged with regret and unanswered questions. 15. Camouflage, the mysterious death of a hip-hop legend. Camouflage, famed for his hit-cut Friends, rose as a star in hip-hop with gritty street anthems and authentic life stories. He was not just an artist, but a voice for those living in society's shadows. On May 19, 2002, while walking with his son outside a recording studio in Savannah, Georgia, Camouflage's life ended in a violent act. Moments before the shooting, he and his son were chatting happily. Then, gunfire struck, killing him instantly. The case remains unsolved, with suspicions of local hip-hop feuds and underground rivalries deepening the mystery. His death left an irreplaceable void in hip-hop, and the community continues to mourn a legend who never reached his full potential. 16. Dala, the tragic death of a rising talent. Dala, a promising rapper known for his passionate and powerful tracks, quickly won the hearts of the hip-hop community. He was expected to become a shining star in the music industry, but fate proved to be merciless. On May 18, 2009, while Dala was enjoying an ordinary day at the Westfield Mall in Los Angeles, he was fatally shot by a man he had only recently encountered. His death was sudden and shocking, shaking the music world to its core. It all stemmed from a minor argument, one so trivial that no one could have imagined it would end so tragically. Dala, young and full of dreams, never thought a moment of anger could take everything away. The case remains unsolved, leaving fans with an irreplaceable void and a harsh lesson about the fragile nature of life in a world riddled with conflict and violence. 17. Thomas Jefferson Byrd, the unsolved mystery of an irreplaceable loss. Thomas Jefferson Byrd, a talented actor and familiar face in Spike Lee's films, achieved success through his deeply impactful performances. He left a significant mark on audiences during his career, but his life ended abruptly in a haunting tragedy. On the night of October 3, 2020, Byrd stepped out of his house only to be gunned down in an instant. There were no warnings, no clear motives, and the case remains a perplexing mystery. Was it a personal conflict or a dark conspiracy behind his death? A seasoned actor, known for memorable roles in Spike Lee's projects, was taken away without explanation, leaving fans heartbroken and full of unanswered questions. 18. Chris Bender, a rising star, taken by an unsolved murder. Chris Bender, a promising R&B singer with a soulful voice and relentless ambition, was a star on the rise. He was poised to deliver vibrant love songs to the world, but his life was cut short in June 1991. That fateful evening, while sitting in his car in Brockton, Massachusetts, Chris could never have predicted that his life would end in a place he thought safe. Out of nowhere, gunshots rang out, and in an instant, he was gone. His death was attributed to a personal dispute, but the true reason remains a mystery. How did such a talented young man get embroiled in dangerous conflicts that cost him his life? The answer has never been revealed, leaving fans with a profound sense of loss. 19. Lloyd Avery II, an actor drowned in a cycle of crime. Lloyd Avery II, a promising actor known for his role in Boys in the Hood, was once a rising star in Hollywood. His menacing villain performances made him a standout figure in notable films. However, on the night of September 4, 2005, Lloyd faced a painful death in California's Pelican Bay prison. He was murdered in a bizarre ritual by a fellow inmate. His death not only marked the end of a talented actor, but also symbolized the devastating consequences of power struggles in the criminal underworld. Despite his gifts, Lloyd couldn't escape the darkness of prison, a place where every mistake demands a steep price. 20. Merlin Santana, a young star lost to a lie. Merlin Santana, an actor famous for his roles in The Cosby Show and Moesha, captured the hearts of audiences everywhere. He was a rising star with a promising future in film and television. However, on the night of November 9, 2002, when Merlin's life was brimming with hope, tragedy struck. He was shot and killed in a brutal shooting in Los Angeles, and it was all because of a lie. The girlfriend of Damon Andre Gates, the perpetrator, falsely accused Merlin of sabotaging their relationship. Gates, blinded by jealousy and rage, acted without seeking the truth, committing an irreversible act of violence. 21. Boston Blackie, a tragedy of gunfire and broken relationships. Boston Blackie, a renowned blues artist known for his soulful melodies, left a significant mark on the music world before his life ended tragically. On June 7, 1970, at a live music club in Chicago, amidst the vibrant rhythms, a heated argument over money escalated to violence. Boston Blackie, a man who devoted his life to music, was shot and killed during a financial dispute with colleagues he once trusted. His death marked the end of a promising life and served as a grim reminder of the dangers of greed and broken promises in relationships. 22. Scott LaRock, a hip-hop legend caught in the Bronx gang wars. Scott LaRock, one of the founders of Boogie Down Productions, made his name in hip-hop with heartfelt, meaningful music. Tragically, on August 27, 1987, his death shattered hopes for a bright future in music. Scott became entangled in a bloody gang war in the Bronx. While he dedicated his life to music and hoped to change lives through his lyrics, his own life was mercilessly cut short by bullets from individuals seeking power without purpose. To this day, the case remains unsolved, leaving the culprits to walk free while fans mourn an unjust loss. 23. Lavell Felton, a basketball talent lost to violence. Lavell Felton, a promising basketball player, was widely expected to shine in the sport's future. Yet no one could have predicted the fateful moment on September 13, 2009 in Milwaukee, when Lavell's life came to a sudden and tragic end. A personal conflict that had gone unresolved culminated in a tense encounter at a gas station. Old disputes flared, leading to a confrontation that ended with a single cold gunshot. Just like that, a young talent was lost forever. The case remains unsolved, leaving Lavell's death a painful memory for fans who continue to grieve his unfulfilled potential. 24. Charisma, a hip-hop talent, taken in a brutal robbery. Charisma, a young, talented rapper, was a rising star of the hip-hop generation with a unique style and powerful lyrics. Sadly, on November 16, 1993, what seemed like an ordinary afternoon in East Palo Alto turned into the fateful day that robbed the world of his musical dreams. At just 20 years old, with a career taking off, Charisma was on his way home from a recording session when he became the target of a robber. As he stopped his car, the assailant pulled a gun and shot him on the spot. What was stolen wasn't just money. It was a talent the hip-hop community had placed so much hope in. Though the killer was caught and brought to justice, Charisma's death remains a heartbreaking loss of a star who never got to fully shine. 25. King Curtis, a jazz icon's life, cut short by domestic conflict. King Curtis, a legendary jazz musician known for his captivating saxophone melodies, was an icon of music in the 1960s and 1970s. Tragically, on August 13, 1971, his brilliant life came to a devastating end within the walls of his own home in New York. That night, a domestic conflict reached its breaking point. A heated argument between Curtis and his partner spiraled out of control. In a moment of fury, a fatal stab wound ended his life. His partner regretted the act immediately, but it was already too late. The deaths of these black legends are not just painful losses, but also societal tragedies. These talented individuals, leaders in music, sports, and culture, were taken too soon by senseless violence. Their tragic stories leave us stunned and grieving for dreams that never came to fruition. Sometimes the price of fame is far too high, isn't it? What are your thoughts on the stories I've shared? Leave a comment below and subscribe to the channel to learn more about Hollywood's unexpected tragedies.